Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa, Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We're also paying our humble Dandavat Pranam to Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Srila Bhakti, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada, for providing us this wonderful commentary and translation of Bhagavatam. And we're also praying to Srimati Radharani, following the guidance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who said, if we can't understand something about Srimati Radharani from our reading Bhagavatam, then our study has been for waste. Yasya yadi seva vanchitasya ma, yasya kripaya vayam labema, sarvam prapnuma prayojanam, damni Shri Bhagavat Pade, Krishna sambandhi sarvam cha, yadi na jani mahe tutam, ashtadashasu sahasreshu, shlokanam Bhagavat oktishu, radharanimna vindam tada, nishphalam Bhagavat adhyayanam, radhikaya kripam vina, vyartasyat sarva parishrama. If we are cheated out of serving that personality whose mercy awards us everything we need, including residence in the Lord's holy Dham and all things connected to Krishna, and if we cannot understand or discover Radharani within the 18,000 verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, then our study of Bhagavatam has been pointless. Without the mercy of Srimati Radharani, all our efforts are in vain. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing our reading from Canto 4, the creation of the fourth order, chapter 27, attack by Caṇḍavega on the city of King Purañjana, the character of Kālakanyā, text 10. Teshu tadrikta hareshu griha koshanu jivishu nirudena mamatvena vishayeshvanva bhadyata. These sons and grandsons were virtually plunderers of King Purañjana's riches, including his home, treasury, servants, and secretaries, and all their paraphernalia. All other paraphernalia. Purañjana's attachment for these things was very deep-rooted. Purport. In this verse, the word rikta hareshu means plunderers of wealth, and it's very significant. One's sons, grandsons, and other descendants are ultimately plunderers of one's accumulated wealth. There are many celebrated businessmen and industrialists who produce great wealth and are highly praised by the public, but all their money is ultimately plundered by their sons and grandsons. In India, we have actually seen one industrialist who, like King Purañjana, was very much sexually inclined and had half-dozen wives. Each of these wives had a separate establishment that necessitated the expenditure of several thousand rupees. When I was engaged in talking with him, I saw that he was very busy trying to secure money so that all his sons and daughters would get at least 500,000 rupees each. Thus, such industrialists, businessmen, or karmis are called mudhas in the Shastras. They work very hard, accumulate money, and are satisfied to see that this money is plundered by their sons and grandsons. Such people do not want to return their wealth to its actual owner. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasham Sarva Loka Maheshvaram. The real proprietor of all wealth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the actual enjoyer. So-called earners of money are those who simply know tricks by which they can take away God's money under the guise of business and industry. After accumulating this money, they enjoy seeing it plundered by their sons and grandsons. This is the materialistic way of life. In materialistic life, one is encaged within the body and deluded by false egoism. Thus one thinks, I am this body, I am a human being, I am an American, I am an Indian. This bodily conception is due to false ego. Being deluded by false ego, one identifies himself with a certain family, nation, or community. In this way, one's attachment to the material world grows deeper and deeper. Thus, it becomes very difficult for the living entity to extricate himself from this entanglement. Such people are graphically described in the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita 16.13 through 15. In this way, idam adhya maya labdam imam prapshe manortatam. Idam astidam api me bhavisyati punardanam. Aso maya hata satrur hanisye chaparanapi. Ishvaroham aham bhogi siddhoham balavanshuki. Adhyo bijanavan asmi konyosti sadrisho maya. Yakshe dasyam vimodisya ityan jnana vimohita. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. In this way, people engage in various laborious activities, and their attachment for body, home, family, nation, and community becomes more and more deep-rooted. Text 11. Ije kratu bir gorir, dikshita pasum harakai, devan pitrin bhuta patin, nanakamo yata bhavan. The great sage Narada continued, my dear King Prachinabarhisat, like you, King Purañjana also became implicated in so many desires. Thus he worshipped demigods, forefathers, and social leaders with various sacrifices, which were all very ghastly because they were inspired by the desire to kill animals. Purport. In this verse, the great sage Narada discloses that the character of Purañjana was being described to give lessons to King Prachinabarhisat. Actually, the entire description was figuratively describing the activities of King Prachinabarhisat. In this verse, Narada frankly says, like you, Yata Bhavan, which indicates that King Purañjana is none other than King Prachinabarhisat himself. Being a great Vaishnav, Narada Muni wanted to stop animal killing and sacrifices. He knew that if he tried to stop King Purañjana, the king, from performing sacrifices, the king would not hear him. Therefore, he is describing the life of Purañjana. But in this verse, he first discloses the intention, although not fully, by saying, like you. Generally, the karmis who are attached to increasing descendants have to perform so many sacrifices and worship so many demigods for future generations and satisfy so many leaders, politicians, philosophers, and scientists to make things go on properly for future generations. The so-called scientists are very eager to see that future generations will live very comfortably, and as such they are trying to find different means of generating energy to drive locomotives, cars, airplanes, and so on. Now they are exhausting the petroleum supply. These activities are described in Bhagavad Gita 2.41. Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekeha kurunandana bahu shaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavashayinam. Those who are on the spiritual path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. O beloved child of the Kurus, the intelligence of those who are irresolute is many-branched. Actually, those who are in knowledge of everything are determined to execute Krishna consciousness. But those who are rascals or mudha, sinners, duskritina, and the lowest of mankind, naradamaha, who are bereft of all intelligence, mayaya parthagyanaha, and who take shelter of the demoniac way of life, asuram bhavam ashrita, are disinterested in Krishna consciousness. As such, they become implicated and take on so many activities. Most of these activities center around the killing of animals. Modern civilization is centered around animal killing. Karmis are advertising that without eating meat, their vitamin value or vitality will be reduced. So to keep oneself fit to work hard, one must eat meat, and to digest meat, one must drink liquor. And to keep the balancing of drinking wine and eating meat, one must have sufficient sexual intercourse to keep fit to work very hard like an ass. There are two ways of animal killing. One way is in the name of religious sacrifices. All the religions of the world, except the Buddhists, have a program for killing in places of worship. According to Vedic civilization, the animal eaters are recommended to sacrifice a goat in the temple of Kali, under certain restrictive rules or regulations, and eat the flesh. Similarly, they are recommended to drink wine by worshipping the goddess Chandika. The purpose is restriction. People have given up all this restriction now, and they are very regularly opening wine distilleries and slaughterhouses and indulging in drinking alcohol and eating flesh. A Vaishnavacharya like Narada Muni knows very well that persons engaged in such animal killing, in the name of religion, are certainly becoming involved in the cycles of birth and death, forgetting the real aim of life, to go back home, back to Godhead. Thus the great sage Narada, while instructing Srimad Bhagavatam to Vyasa Muni, condemned the karmakand, fruit of activities, mentioned in the Vedas. Narada told Vyasa, Jugupshitam dharma krite nushashata, swabhava raktasya mahan vyatikrama, yadvakyato dharma ititarastito, namanyate tasya vivarana nivaranam jana. The people in general are naturally inclined to enjoy, and you have encouraged them in that way in the name of religion. This is verily condemned and is quite unreasonable. Because they are guided under your instructions, they will accept such activities in the name of religion and will hardly care for prohibitions. Bhagavatam 1.5.15. Srila Narada Muni chastised Vyasadeva for compiling so many Vedic supplementary scriptures, which are all intended for guiding people in general. Narada Muni condemned these scriptures because they do not mention direct devotional service. Under Narada's instructions, direct worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as described in Srimad Bhagavatam, was set forth by Vyasadeva. The conclusion is that neither the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, nor his devotee ever sanctions animal killing in the name of religion. Indeed, Krishna incarnated himself as Lord Buddha to put an end to animal killing in the name of religion. Animal sacrifice under the name of religion is conducted by the influence of tamagun, the mode of ignorance, as indicated in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 18.31 through 32. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam chakaryam evacha atyatavat prajanati buddhi saparta rajasi adharmam dharmam itya manyate tamasavrata savartan viparitamscha buddhi saparta tamasi. That understanding which cannot distinguish between the religion's way of life and the irreligious, between the religious way of life and the irreligious, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, that imperfect understanding, O son of Pritha, is in the mode of passion. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness, and strives always in the wrong direction, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. Those who are involved in the mode of ignorance manufacture religious systems for killing animals. Actually, Dharma is transcendental. As Lord Sri Krishna teaches, we must give up all other systems of religion and simply surrender unto him. Sarva dharmam parityaga. Thus the Lord and his devotees and representatives teach the transcendental Dharma, which does not allow animal killing at all. At the present moment, it is the greatest misfortune that in India so many missionary workers are spreading irreligion in the name of religion. They claim an ordinary human being to be God and recommend meat eating for everyone, including the so-called sannyasis. And thus ends our reading for today. We will continue from text 12 on Friday. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Shri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai.
Jai.
All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees, Sama Bhakti Veda Vrinda Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ju Ki Jai.
Jai.
Ganga Mai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Shyam Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Jai Scientific Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai. Princeton Bhakti Vedanta Institute Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Jai Shrimati Uma Devi Dasi Ki Jai.
Jai Gurudev. Sripad Krishna Keshav Prabhu Ji ki jai.
Dandavati.